Well, Republican Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas joins me now to talk about all of this. Senator Cotton, thank you so much for being with us today. So interested to get your thoughts on the events of the last couple of days that are still unfolding here. A lot of people asking if Senator Manchin is going to just change teams. Let's listen to Senator Mitch McConnell on this from just yesterday.
He doesn't fit well over there, but that's a decision ultimately he has to make. We certainly welcome him to join us if he were so inclined.
So what do you think? Is it a possibility? Could Senator Manchin join Republicans, or is he more likely to become an independent?
Well, Anita, I would say to Joe Manchin, we would welcome him with open arms in our party. There's been a lot of Democrats across the country over the years from states like West Virginia who have recognized that they're not leaving the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party long ago left them, and you've seen that over the last 2 days. Joe Manchin has been very candid and upfront for months. I kind of feel like he's the "can you hear me now" guy from those cell phone commercials. He's been saying the same thing for 6 months, that he's worried about record inflation harming West Virginia families' budgets, about trillions of dollars of new debt, about giving amnesty to illegal immigrants, or discouraging people from going out and working. And the Democrats thought that he would just roll over in the end. And now they're criticizing him for not being a good Democrat. I think it's pretty rich when Bernie Sanders, who wasn't even a Democrat at all until 6 years ago, was criticizing Joe Manchin for not being a good Democrat. So maybe it is time for Senator Manchin to come over, and we'd welcome him with open arms if he did.
So we heard the president say just a few moments ago that he's going to work something out with Joe Manchin. But where do you think the White House went wrong with this dialogue? Did they underestimate his influence, and how could they have played this differently?
Well, Anita, where they went wrong is not taking seriously his concerns. His concerns are what he's heard all across West Virginia, what I've heard in Arkansas. Families who are struggling to make ends meet, who are worried about adding trillions of dollars of new taxes and new deficit spending. Families who are worried about having affordable and reliable electricity in their homes at wintertime. This bill would make all of those concerns even worse. It wouldn't solve them. And Joe Biden, just like Bernie Sanders and the rest of the Democrats in Washington, all thought that if they just believed that Joe Manchin in the end would come along, that he would. And Joe Manchin, as he has said, is from West Virginia, where they're made of pretty tough stuff. And I commend him for standing up to these radical Democrats and their $5 trillion reckless tax and spending bill. Now it's time to turn the page and start tackling the serious concerns that Americans have about inflation and our supply chain, or crime, or our chaotic southern border. That's where we should focus our efforts in the new year in Congress.
Okay, real quick, I got about 20 seconds for you. At the end of the press conference on COVID, the president got peppered with questions about the Build Back Better bill and Joe Manchin, and he said he still hopes to pass the bill. Quickly, what does the president need to do to get Joe Manchin on board and pass this bill?
I don't know, Anita, and I hope that he can't get him back on board, because it would be a victory for the American people not to pass trillions of dollars in new deficit spending.
All right. Senator Tom Cotton, thank you so much, and Merry Christmas to you.